And back here live, CMA Fest 2024 rolls on here, the sportsguyspodcast.com, and of course out there, KKTC, True Country 99.9, and our friends at HighTideCountry.net. And so many our thanks to just everybody who's come by today, too. It's busy and it's a lot of fun, but Adam Warner's coming up here a little bit. Thanks to Brittany Kellogg and Morgan Miles for stopping by here, too. Kylie Ryan joining us here on the program. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Voice is starting to crack, so I know it's
that husky thing going on that we all like.
Husky thing too. Well, it's going to be great. How's CMA Fest so far?
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of people from all over America, and it's just it's really cool. It's really cool for a girl from down under in Australia to come up here and see what it's all about.
Yeah, it was kind of cool just seeing the Aussies on the plane making that flight for like 17, 18 hours from your beautiful home country, which I can't wait to get over there and just visit one day too and just take it all in for the fairs and festivals. But you got a lot of cool things just coming up, either out there right now and for a big 2024. Tell fans about this.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a big 2024. I've got a single going to radio on the 17th of June, and then hopefully available for streaming shortly after that. So it's a nice feel good drinking. It's a drinking song for the girls. The guys have got their drink away their problems songs, and I've written one for the girls.
How long are you in town this week?
I live here now.
You live in here?
I moved here. I took the plunge. I couldn't do the 17, 18-hour flights all the time, so I just decided to live here. Yeah. Smaller commitment.
Hey, tell us about the music. Was it something you always wanted to do?
It's funny, I feel like I've had imposter syndrome for my whole life. I remember being real small and listening to the old school records of my aunt and uncle. They loved Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn and all those old school artists. And I just loved the fact that music combined, or country music combined, my two favorite things, which was stories and music. And it was just like country music is stories to music. So I always knew it would be something that I always wanted to do it. And then I've kind of did things, I guess, the opposite way to the way everybody says you should do things. So I kind of, had my kids, raised my kids, and now I'm having my career. So it's just, there's multiple ways of doing things, girls. You don't have to do everything the way they tell you.
Hey, speaking of Australian country, Andrew Swift was here with us yesterday. I talked to some others, one of my good friends, next week or week after, Haley Jensen coming by just to talk about her story. Love Haley, just one of my best friends down there too. Love her music and love one of the first albums she put out too that she worked on here with Phil Barton here in Nashville too as well. Just great producer here. But looking back at it, man, it's amazing that so many, Casey Barnes and so many others, Amber Lawrence, there's so much great talent down there doing their thing. Isn't this crazy that they're impacting, either moving here to invade Nashville in a good way or traveling back and forth to make music?
That's it. The Gumleaf Mafia. We're making our own. LA had theirs back in the 80s and 90s, and I guess we're going to make a new one down here in Nashville. But look, it's just something we all look at Nashville as being, I guess it's kind of Mecca for us as country music artists. And being in Australia, you hear about this magical place called Nashville where, all your favorite country artists live. So we all come over here and we just learn so much just from being here on the ground and writing songs with, like you mentioned, Phil Barton, people that do this for a living. We actually don't have songwriters. That's all we do in Australia. In Australia, we're all independents. We all write our own things. We all, produce our own records. We all do everything ourselves. And here, it's just such a juggernaut of an industry that it's just so cool for us to come over here and see that, this is our profession actually drives an entire city, and it's a really cool thing. But there's some really cool, talented artists in Australia. And Haley's a good friend of mine. So, hey, say hello to her for me.
She's fantastic. We haven't set the show time. She goes, well, you can do 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, oh, there's time change. That's 8 o'clock in the morning for you moving forward the next day already. So looking back, I'm like, we'll go as late as 5. Is it okay for you? Well, I'll get up in the morning. Okay, just making sure, Haley, that's okay for that because she's still over there impacting. And I think her new single just came out across all the DSPs out there. Yeah, Stomping Grounds out there. She got some good tunes. And I remember that first album, too, that she worked on with Phil. I was just like, man, it's I got to jam to that later in the car.
She can sing. Oh, my gosh.
She's one or a few of those golden guitars over there, too.
She's been nominated a couple of times now. Yeah.
Love Australian country. Love it here, too. Well, hey, tell us the rest of the kind of this CMA Fest, what's lined up through tomorrow. And, of course, even people say, well, it stops tomorrow. No, it goes on a little bit probably through Monday with other things, maybe not necessarily related to, like, Broadway and stuff like that. But what else is lined up for you?
So I've got meet and greets this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon where I get to, chat to everybody. Like I said, meet everybody from all over America and, everywhere else that they come over from. And then I'm actually getting out of Dodge for a little while next week. I'm going down the Gulf Coast for a week. So I'm going to get out of town for a little while and then come back when it's quieting down a little bit. And then I get to roll my sleeves up and get into the promotion side of the single, write some new songs, get some things happening, get some buzz happening for this new song so everybody can listen to it. Yeah.
I'm ready for it too, no doubt about that. Hey, let's talk about Toby Keith and just the impact he made on country music, not just as a great artist and having those great hits for so many years, but giving back to younger artists on what was Show Dog Records, Trailer Choir, Flynnville Train, and all these great bands that came through there too, which was fantastic too. We just did a benefit concert to raise money for childhood cancer back at CRS this year. Which was fantastic at the Wild Beaver. We did a full length remote out there and had artists lined up down the ramp to come in and talk to us and play some music, which was fantastic. The impact you made on country music, and were you a 90s country baby?
Of course I was a 90s country baby. Shania forever, ladies. But also, Garth Brooks, I remember seeing that on TV, when he kind of shot across the stadium on that acrobat thing that he was on. It was just like, what is this? Okay, now it was like country clash with hair rock, which I was kind of loosely into back in those days too, the Bon Jovis of the world. But yeah, I mean, all those 90s artists, I think they impact the artists that are coming through today. Everybody can talk, and all the girls talk about Shania. I mean, Taylor Swift talks about how Shania, if Shania can impact Taylor Swift, she's got to be an influence on the rest of us. My gosh. But yeah, the guys, Toby Keith, he's the quintessential American. He was kind of so patriotic and so, the epitome of a man. He gave back to the country. He was always just a stand-up guy, and I think that those values hold true no matter where you are in the world. In Australia it's the same. We like our guys to stand up for their women and stand up for their values and families and all those good things and be patriotic. There no better place in the world to live than Australia or America. I can't think of anywhere else in the world that would be a better place to grow up in, to live. And I think, he showed us that we should be proud of where we come from. And I think that we should be proud of where we come from.
I'm going to go down there and make the trip one day. I've just got to do it because I want to see the beaches. I want to see Melbourne. I want to see Queensland. I want to see it all. Yeah.
Got to go over to Perth. Perth has some amazing beaches, but Queensland, it's one of my favorite places in the world, is Southeast Queensland. It's perfect. Yeah, it's got everything you want there.
I can't wait to get over there too. It's down under, and like I said, if you're over there too, if you're travel back home too, and you're playing a show, we got to give me a whole VIP treatment over there too. I'll watch you play. Hey, appreciate you being with us.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for the chat. It was lovely.
Kylie Ryan, look for the projects coming out there on social media. The new single coming out here real soon too as well, and keep it locked on her social media, all the good stuff out there. We'll have more of it on KKTC, True Country 99.9, and our friends at hightidecountry.net. More to come here. Adam Warner coming up next, and a whole lot more here. It is the Backstage Pass rolling on. CMA Fest 2024 continues. Stay tuned.